Get ready for red-hot details about the girl on fire.
Oh my God!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Hunger Games franchise facts.
And if we burn, you burn with us!
For this list, we've looked at the most interesting facts and trivia surrounding the international blockbuster movie series The Hunger Games.
Unfortunately, not everyone in the districts fell for it.
Number 10. Jennifer Lawrence has expensive hair.
I remember the first time I saw you. Your hair was in 2 braids instead of 1.
Well, at least she does when she's on set. A natural blonde, Jennifer Lawrence didn't want her hair dyed and experimented with on an almost daily basis for fear that it would become damaged.
Oh, you look beautiful too.
So, to avoid doing so, the head hair designer for The Hunger Games, Linda Flowers, rented 5 $6,000 lace wigs in different shades of brown to achieve the most natural of effects. That's $30,000 in total.
Made Jennifer comfortable to know that we weren't going to experiment with her color.
But the signature Katniss badass braid was a little less taxing.
Your hair looks lovely, darling. When did you start wearing it like that?
Everyone at school wears it like this now, Grandpa.
It took just 20 minutes to style.
And I think that's there to be very functional so that her hair is nicely pulled back and not going to fall on her face too much.
Number 9. Jennifer Lawrence's squirrel skills. Any squirrel on screen with Jennifer Lawrence best run for cover quickly. The people for the ethical treatment of animals quickly ascended onto some parts of the Hunger Games because of the squirrel slaughter implied in it.
My father buys her squirrels. He says she hits him right in the eye every time.
No animals were actually harmed during filming, but Lawrence has a reputation. She was previously criticized for another notorious squirrel skinning scene in Winter's Bone.
Pull hard.
Before being quoted as responding with, quote, "screw PETA."
She talks about the scene and says, quote, "I should say it wasn't real for PETA, but screw PETA."
And she's admitted that she can actually hunt in real life, too. The Katniss actress can be quite controversial.
You help me pull the trigger? Put your finger right there.
Number 8. The swear jar.
You have quite the potty mouth. I have experienced it. Yes, you do.
Jennifer Lawrence is well known for being a less than typical A-list actress. She says what she wants, when she wants, and how she wants.
What?
And that last bit literally cost her while on the set for Mockingjay. The cast and crew introduced a swear jar.
Now, is it true there's a rumor that you guys set up a swear jar on the set of Hunger Games?
The basic rules being that anytime a swear word is said, money must be donated, especially if said in front of a younger cast member.
Well, you know what? That! Everybody that had anything to do with it!
All right then.
It's thought that Lawrence handed over around half of the final total.
Mother balls, nipple, fart, waffle.
Number 7. Donald Sutherland's awesome job application.
You should imagine thousands upon thousands of your people dead. This town of yours reduced to ashes. Imagine it gone.
Every great hero needs a great villain to fight against, and Donald Sutherland, as President Snow, has proven exactly that, from even before the first day of filming.
I mean, if we just wanted to intimidate the districts, why not round up 24 of them at random and execute them all at once? It'd be a lot faster.
Sutherland's first point of contact with Hunger Games director Gary Ross was to write him a 3-page email discussing ideas of power, evilness, and criminal psychology, all noted down with an ominous touch of Snow's own tyrannical voice.
He feels very strongly that he's doing the right thing.
Afterwards, that particular casting question was closed. The Rose Garden was Sutherland's.
So you like an underdog?
Everyone likes an underdog.
I don't.
Number 6. Philip Seymour Hoffman was a week away from finishing.
This is Plutarch Heavensby, head game maker.
Philip Seymour Hoffman passed away February 2nd, 2014, with just 2 scenes left to be shot for Mockingjay Part 2.
The tribunals, power of the people, it can all be the bedrock of the new Panem, but in wartime, I think even the noblest of causes can be bent a little bit, right?
Initially, it had been suggested that Hoffman would be digitally recreated in order that his character, Plutarch Heavensbee, could still feature as previously planned.
It's a fact to follow.
However, in a December 2014 interview with Empire magazine, the film's director, Francis Lawrence, revealed that CGI would not be used. Lawrence said that he had no intention to fake a performance for Hoffman, who many critics considered one of the greatest actors of his generation.
Brilliant.
Number 5. Jennifer Lawrence gave Josh Hutcherson a concussion.
What the hell was that?
It turns out Jennifer Lawrence is just as lethal off-screen as she is on it. Behind the scenes for the first film of the series, J-Law nearly knocked out her co-star, Josh Hutcherson, by kicking him in the head and giving him a concussion.
By accident.
The pair was fooling around in between takes, practicing their fighting skills, when Lawrence accidentally landed a heavy headshot, leaving Hutcherson with one hell of a headache.
And she tells me she can kick over my head, and I'm like, you can't kick over my head. And she goes, watch.
Hutcherson soldiered on himself, though, and wasn't diagnosed with a concussion until sometime afterwards, when he had trouble recalling his home address.
Peter.
Number 4. The Hunger Games is based on Greek mythology.
Athens has to send 7 youths and 7 maidens to Crete, where they are thrown into the labyrinth to be devoured by a monster called the Minotaur.
Hunger Games writer Suzanne Collins has revealed where a lot of her inspiration came from. Firstly, the Vietnam War, a conflict in which her father fought.
When I was a child, my dad fought in Vietnam. The year I was 6, he was gone for the whole year.
Secondly, a channel-hopping experience during which news items on the Iraq War contrasted with images of reality TV.
And these images sort of began to meld together in my mind in a very unsettling way. And that's when it sort of struck me, this idea for the games.
Thirdly, and perhaps most predominantly, Collins cites her love for Greek mythology as a child. The Hunger Games is particularly influenced by the myth of Theseus and the Minotaur, a story which scared Collins as a child and stuck with her as an adult.
And even when I was a little kid, this just stunned me because it was so cruel. It was the cruelest thing that he could think to do to the people of Athens. It's worse than killing them. He's killing their children.
Number 3. Jennifer Lawrence went temporarily deaf while filming. Lawrence has a reputation for being accident-prone.
Well, I was just hoping that I wouldn't burn to death.
And it was clearly demonstrated while filming Catching Fire. The Katniss actress actually went deaf in one ear for 1 week during shooting for the second movie.
Did you hear that?
She'd originally picked up an ear infection while diving into stagnant water on set. But the matter was worsened when, in a later scene, she took a water jet to the side of the head and lost her hearing entirely. Lawrence still reports occasional pain, especially when yawning. She should really get to the doctor.
You okay?
Number 2. Suzanne Collins is super rich.
Well, I don't like jewels and I have more money than I need, so...
It probably goes without saying that Suzanne Collins made a lot of money out of the Hunger Games, but the scale of her riches is quite incredible.
The lone victor, bathed in riches, would serve as a reminder of our generosity and our forgiveness.
In 2013, she was listed as the 3rd highest earning author in the world, an especially commendable feat given that her books were released in 2008, 2009, and 2010 respectively.
It's incredible, isn't it?
The film adaptations have seen Collins' finances go through the roof, a far cry from where she started as a staff writer on Nickelodeon, working on shows like Clarissa Explains It All and Oswald.
It's not gonna rain. It's bright and sunny outside.
Oh, sure. Now it is.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
But when I got to the conclusion of that, I knew that there had to be a sequel because something happens. One of the main characters does something that would never go unpunished.
They can be arrogant, and arrogance can be a big problem. I hear you can shoot.
Get to a bow.
They may not have.
Well, if you show them how good you are, they just want a good show. That's all they want.
Number 1, The Rise and Rise of Jennifer Lawrence.
I thought they hated me.
They must have liked your guts.
To Katniss Everdeen, the girl on fire.
Oh, goodness.
An actress who has more than made a name for herself away from the Hunger Games franchise, J-Law's rise to the headiest heights of Hollywood has coincided with her playing Katniss Everdeen.
You have to make people like you.
That fact is most apparent when the stars' paychecks are put against one another. Between $500,000 and $600,000 for the first film, $10 million for the second.
Congratulations.
Like Katniss, Lawrence turned a modest beginning into a monumental achievement.
Thank you for your consideration.
Not bad for someone who calls herself a big mistake.
She says, quote, "I'm a troll. I hate myself. I think the movie is great, but their biggest mistake was casting me."
Do you agree with our list?
Not what you were expecting.
Which fact did we forget?
Uh-oh, like what?
For more blockbuster top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
That about sums me up.